Welcome to episode 8 of the VSP Podcast. I'm Anthony Bernice. Today we're going to be talking to Nick Fanti, who's a longtime friend. He also played at a very high level baseball-wise. He's going to talk about his experience when it comes to development, injuries, and just everything about baseball. So we're excited to talk about that. Without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Ant. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I want to start off pretty quick. I want to set the stage here. Talk to us about your development, when you were in middle school and high school, what did that look like? Was it like how it is today? I want to hear all about your feedback because obviously you've been through quite the journey.
I feel like when I was going through middle school and high school, it was like the beginning of the way it is now. Like we were starting to get recruited. There was like the online things, kind of like Huddle or whatever. But like baseball version were starting to come out, so people were making like prospect videos.
Yeah. My film is still on DVDs.
Yeah, exactly. like I feel like it was just the beginning of that. Now It's like I had a parent send me a few weeks ago, like her son has like a prospect profile for colleges to look at, and like they could see how many colleges look at it and like who likes them and whatnot. So it's definitely come a long way. But when I was in middle school and high school, like I obviously I went on to get drafted to pitch. I played the outfield mostly. I didn't really pitch until high school.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I fought many coaches to not be on the mound because I just hated it. And eventually they convinced me to pitch. It was more of just like a success thing. Like I wasn't good at it. I didn't want to do it at the time.
Now, was it more in high school or more like travel ball that you saw the success pitching wise?
It was initially in the fall, actually, just working with a pitching coach, just gaining confidence. Like, hey, I can repeat my delivery. I can throw a strike. I can throw another strike. I can throw another strike. And then I showed up my freshman year for tryouts, and I was like, gonna pitch. Yeah. And I ended up pitching on varsity a little bit that year because I always had a good arm. It was just I didn't know where it was going. And I also enjoyed playing the outfield. So it was like I was more focused on that and kind of ignored people telling me like, hey man, you're lefty and you throw above the speed limit. So, why not do that? So.
Okay. So now what was the moment, I guess, in high school that you knew like, oh wow, I got it?
So I have a few different like aha moments. One of them was probably my sophomore year. I was playing on a Titans team, and they were all guys a year older than me, and we went to Michigan. And it was one of those, like, I was the last guy to pitch. It was a playoff game. I needed to, like, kind of bridge the gap to get to our next best guy, whoever that was, and, like, I needed to pitch this game. And it was, like, the first round of the playoffs. And, I'd never been, like, deep in a game before at that time, so I ended up going, like, complete game. I let up a solo home run. We lost the game, but it was like the first time I was like, oh wow, like I can compete with anybody.
Yeah.
That was a big aha moment. And then going into like, I kind of like went into my sophomore year after that being like, all right, yeah, like I could do this. And that was like my first full year on varsity where I was starting like every week and was able to build like consistency.
Okay.
But even at that point, like into the summer, I wasn't even pitching on my summer teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was mostly like school ball. And then for whatever reason, once summer rolled around, like it would all implode on me. And then I kind of like spent those winters just like rebuilding it and then figure it out during school, hopefully. And then it would implode again on like during the summer. And that's like kind of made like my college recruitment process like a little more difficult because I couldn't give them like a consistent product.
Got it. Now, were you trying to go as a two-way or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I wanted to do both. I wanted to play the outfield and pitch.
Yeah.
And like honestly, like err more on the side of outfield play because I just liked playing every day.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like the idea of like the pitcher life. But then when you get into the PO life, like there's nothing better.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me a little about development. I mean, your development when you were in high school, and then development now, and then what would you change about what's going on today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say compared to high school to now is just everything was based on like guess. So like, you know, just based on what whoever we were working with learned, like was what we were all doing as a team per se, like, you know, team workouts, you know, whether it's in the weight room, throwing wise, like it was just like long toss and like your arm's going to get stronger. I think the way that kind of evolved to nowadays is like now everything is more like objective. So, you know, we can measure velocity, we can measure stress we put on the arm with devices. You know, in the gym, there's jump mats, there's force plate testing. Like there's all this stuff now where like you can get objective numbers to go from, you know, to know you're getting better. And I think that's something where that's evolved over my baseball career is like going from, okay, if this pitch, I'm learning a new pitch, I'm going to throw it a few times, you know, I'm going to throw it for a month to give it a chance.
Yeah.
All right, I don't like it after a month, I scrap it.
Yeah.
Now it's like based on like Rapsodo numbers, metrics, like I could throw a pitch and know within 3 or 4 times, like if this is going to work for me, can I put it into my arsenal or not?
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest area of improvement that I see. Like I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Some things can run your life a little bit. Like I fell into a trap with like wearables, like Whoop and all that stuff. like I love the product, but like it kind of got to a point where it was like, oh man, I got a red sleeping score.
Yeah.
Can't work out hard today.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there needs to be like a little bit more of a balance sometimes.
Correct.
But I think that's something that has overall been an improvement to like development in general.
Yes. No, I think being able to measure the stress, as you were mentioning before, hopefully will, you know, because we're just getting into early stages of, you know, being able to identify, you know, precursors or issues that potentially are causing injuries. As we know, sport of baseball is plagued by injury. And unfortunately, you've been through, you know, quite a few yourself. But why don't you, for a second, talk about the injuries you've been, what has led up to those points, and then how you've rebounded since.
Yeah. So I've had 4 arm surgeries. I had a shoulder surgery and 3 elbow surgeries. And so it started off with the shoulder in 2019. Leading up to that, I was having issues with my back, and then it kind of like bled up the chain, and then I was coming back from the back, but my shoulder was bothering me, and the rehab was still like based on my back problems, but I was having issues with my shoulder, and I think they were kind of hoping that one would fix the other.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out. So that was 2018, and then 2019, I came back to spring training after getting a cortisone shot, and I was in my 3rd outing, and I can remember warming up for an inning against the Pirates GCL team, and I remember throwing a fastball, and I saw it like do this, and I was like, okay,
something's wrong.
Yeah, something's up. So I spent that whole inning just throwing breaking balls.
Oh wow!
And
you figured it out.
And I got through it. I went 1, 2, 3, just throwing curveballs and changeups. Probably it was like 78 to 80 on anything else that I threw. And they were like, "Oh man, great inning! Like, how you doing?" I'm like, "Horrible, I'm doing horrible."
Yeah.
And they checked my shoulder out. I ended up getting a Bennett's lesion removal and posterior capsule repair. And then I came back from that. I would have been ready in 2020. I was healthy that whole year, but they had me home during the COVID season. And then they brought me to Instructs. That was the first time I had an elbow problem. We tried rehabbing that conservatively. I got to spring training. I was throwing in another outing, and just felt it on. It was building up.
Yeah.
Like it never really got better.
Yeah.
And then I was at my max intensity. Felt it on one pitch. Finished the inning, and came out. Told them, they're like, "Yeah, we don't love that." So I had Tommy John, my first Tommy John, with all check in 2021.
Okay.
And I became a free agent at the end of that year. And so like the rehab got like a little like mix moshed a little bit. Like I was with the Phillies, and then I was rehabbing on my own with like physical therapists and stuff
Got
here. But I just, there was like a break in the action a little bit, and kind of like went a little rogue with the throwing program.
Okay.
And my goal was to get back with the Phillies because I was a free agent. And I knew like once I was ready, I would probably re-sign with them. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, like let's do this. And it was probably too early. And I had some scouts come down and I threw pretty well. They signed me. And they brought me down there like, hey, you ready to face some hitters? And I was like, sure.
But did you know in the back of your head that maybe you weren't, or?
Not really, because like when you're in that mode, like towards the end of the rehab, because I was like a year out of surgery, it's like you want to find out, and like you hear stories of guys like, oh, like I just, my arm was bugging me this whole time, and then I got to this one day where I did this, and like it just clicked.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I think what I was hanging on to.
Yeah.
And also when you talk to other guys, it's like, hey, how does your arm feel? Like no one says their arm feels good.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, like maybe what I'm feeling is normal.
Yes.
But I don't think it was, obviously.
Yeah.
So my first time down there, I see hitters and my velocity spikes because I'm seeing hitters. And I was like 93 to 95 or something.
Okay. And what were you sitting before that?
Before my shoulder injury, I was like 88 to 91.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you were a part of it. Okay.
Yeah. And then like coming back from shoulders when I got introduced to plyo balls and I started chasing velocity a little bit, that's when I had like my first bump. And then that surgery was, so then I was with them. My shoulder and my elbow were both bugging me after that. And I spent the next few months kind of chasing my tail, trying to make that feel better. And the draft came in and they were like, hey man, we don't think you're going to pitch this year because of your arm. Like, no hard feelings. We got to release you.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah. So they sent me home. And I got a PRP shot in my elbow for my flexor because I had like a little tear in there. And then I got back from that and I was preparing for like pro days and stuff. So I pitched at a pro day in New Jersey. I threw really well. And then Team Italy wanted me to be with them again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I was having issues, but like for whatever reason, it's just like you never totally like, you're just like, maybe this is normal. This is like part of the program.
How long after the PRP shot is this taking place?
So it was like PRP in August. Pro day was in February.
Okay, so not that long after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not crazy long at all.
Okay.
And then I was with Team Italy in March.
Yep.
So the pro day goes really well. Teams are interested. They're following me. They're like, oh, you're going to be with Team Italy. So like they followed me over to Arizona.
Nice.
And the day before we were leaving for Taiwan, I was facing our hitters. And elbow wasn't feeling great going into it. Was throwing and like one pitch just like does it. Like for all of these, it's like one pitch, like there's a build up for me.
Of course.
But like one pitch does it.
Yeah.
So like I remember this one was a changeup. And again, like an idiot, finished the inning. And then next day got an MRI. Like our flight's at like 5 o'clock. And I'm like, I got to figure this out because like I don't want to go just like take a spot from somebody really.
Correct.
Like if I'm not going to pitch.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you tore your flexor off the bone. And so that was a flexor repair.
And what year are we right now? 2020?
This is 2023 now.
Oh, 2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2022 is when I re-signed.
Yep.
I get released. 2023 is the World Baseball Classic. I get that surgery, and now like this is like it for me. Like this is my last one. I'm putting all my cards in the middle. I go out the drive line in Arizona.
Yes. Okay.
And I was there for 6 months. And I had like one setback there. And then I was building up and like it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Like I could get through my throwing sessions and feel good, and then the aftermath was the problem.
Yeah.
Like my soreness was like horrible. And I'm just like, I don't know if this is normal. And then it got a little bit better. So I was at a point where I was like, okay, like this is about as good as it's going to get. I'm throwing hard. I was like 92, 94. So I reach out to the Ducks and they sign me. So I come home and I signed there like June 21st or something like that, and pitched there for a few weeks. Felt pretty good. And then like the last week was just like, arm was like starting to bug me. And then I had an outing against York, and just first hitter, I was like a little like abnormally wild, like just like 3-0 count, and like had no idea where the ball was going. Second hitter comes up, first pitch to him was like a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and I felt it on the fastball. Again, finished the inning.
Yeah.
And so I get through it, and like nobody knew it either because they asked me to go out for a second inning. I'm like, no, like that's it.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was like, my career's done, I think. Like, I'm good. Like, I think an impending third elbow surgery is where I draw the line. And, like, I kind of put all my cards in with the driveline thing. And, like, I could say I did it. Like, I covered all my bases, and, like, I feel like I can be happy with what I tried. And, you know, I was willing to call it, and my parents were just like, no, like, you shouldn't if you don't want to. Like, and I was like, I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not that I'm getting older, but like, this is my third elbow surgery. Like, I don't know if I can come back from this. And they're just like, you know, whatever you need, we'll help you out. Like, just, you know, you're good at this. Like, I had a good showing with the Ducks. So, like, you're still good at this. Just be patient for once in your life and, like, wait for it to get better. You know what you have. Yeah. So I got the surgery with Dr. Ahmad, and like he has like that new bracing procedure that he does. He has like where they repair what's there, the reconstruction and the brace at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I got out of the surgery, and I did it. And I got out of the surgery. It's like I have no reason to think that like this won't be a high performing arm again. Like you.
What's the month? What month are we?
This is September of last year now.
Of last year, 2024. Okay.
Yeah, so I tore it in July. I waited till September to get the surgery.
Got it.
Just because, like, I couldn't mentally, like, because it's been back to back to back.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point, like mentally, I needed, like, a little, like, month and a half. Like, I needed the summer to just kind of, like, forget about baseball a little bit and just reset and think about what I wanted to do. And it's honestly been, like, the best. And I finally didn't, like, run away for a rehab, I feel like. Yeah. I really kind of like dove in with like the Hauppauge varsity team. Like I coached with them with Josh Goots. I did like a year of school. I worked with the Little League. Like I just, you know, I've been like so happy the last like year, just in the interim of rehabbing. Like this rehab has felt like that. Yeah. So it's like, I had like, you know, I hit the year mark September 3rd, and like I feel great so far. So it's like the farthest I've gone after a surgery, feeling great. Okay. To this point, and like I'm no reason to believe that it won't keep getting better.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a lot. I don't think there's many people that can say they've been through what you've been through. Yeah. But you said something that I think that is worth noting is, you know, like covering all your bases and you know, like when you hang up the cleats one day, you want to be able to say you did everything you could, you know what I mean, to play the sport that you loved. And not everybody could say that, unfortunately. You know, I respect that. Yeah. So what's next for Nick Fanti right now?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the ultimate goal is to play again. Right now I'm coaching Little League team over in Hauppauge. Nice. And then just doing like lessons and stuff on the side. Nice. But I'd like to come back and play again. I'm aiming for possibly winter ball this year. Okay. January or December, January. Hoping to hit like one of those waves of guys kind of getting shipped out. Yeah. And then, you know, my ultimate goal is to play in the World Baseball Classic next year. Okay. And that's 2026? 2026. Got it. And then I'd like to get back with Team Italy. Just kind of, it'd be like a nice little full circle thing for me. Just, you know, I was with them in 17. I got hurt in 23, and then like just to actually kind of come
Yeah.
back and hopefully pitch in a meaningful game for them would be like really cool for me. And also just like the staff there is awesome. Like I, love playing for them. That was like one of the best moments of my life, and like made it that much more heartbreaking when I got hurt. The second
I can
time
imagine.
there. Like,
That sucks. But it's nice that you're setting yourself up for that second chance.
Yeah.
And, it's not easy. So give me this piece of advice for, some of your young listeners out there. Maybe they just got, told that they need Tommy John surgery or any sort of, procedure. What would you say to them, going through it?
Yeah, I would say be patient, and figure out what you love outside of baseball. There'd be a few things. Be patient, figure out what else you love outside of baseball, and also it's going to be a roller coaster. It's never just straight up. Like it's going to have peaks and valleys, and you got to be able to handle those mentally as much as it is physical. Like it's definitely one of the hardest things you're ever going to do in your life.
Yeah.
But there are some very, very good rehab specialists, strength and conditioning coaches, pitching coaches out there that are going to help guide you to that finish line, and you just need to kind of look at it from the macro, not just be how I feel today is how I am now. Like I think that's what I struggled with. Like on days where I don't feel good, it's like, is this me now? Like I'm just a guy with a sore elbow all the time, and I don't throw hard anymore. I throw 81. Like is that how it is now? And it's like, no, there's so much that has to happen in your arm or wherever you get a procedure. Like biologically, it just takes time, and you just can't rush it really.
Yeah.
And just having that patience is so key. And it seems so obvious to say that, but it's the biggest lesson I learned from it was if I tried to rush the process every single time, obviously it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm finally learned my lesson, I think.
Yeah. No, listen, kudos to you, man.
Yeah.
Now let's talk some positives now. So it was draft day. Walk us through when you got drafted, the feelings. What did that feel like? And then what are some advice for those 14, 15, 16-year-old kids out there that would love to get drafted one day? What would you tell them?
Yeah. I think it's it's definitely a very unique situation to be in. If we're going to the day it happened, me personally, I knew it was going to be the Phillies if anyone drafted me. I know other people get drafted by teams and it wasn't even on their radar, but they were the most interested the whole time. They had me to their pre-draft workout. Yeah. They called me throughout the 3 days, so I knew if it was happening, it was going to be them. Mm-hmm. And it's just really exciting because I remember being in English class and getting a phone call, and even the teacher was like she knew about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure some email went out or something, and she was like, "Do you need to take that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." And they called me just to say "Hey, we're not taking you this round." I'm like, "Oh, great."
Wow.
I guess I'll go back to writing my essay. And then when I went home, I had all my friends around me.
Nice.
Coach Goose was there. He actually left because that night we had the awards dinner for baseball, and so I got drafted probably 3:30, and then at 8 o'clock, whatever it is, I won the Yastrzemski award.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Overall, it was
great
day. It was one really cool thing happened, and the Yastrzemski award was always my goal throughout high school. I remember my freshman or sophomore year, I used to play on the same travel team as this kid, Matt Crohan. He won it my sophomore year. And I always kind of looked up to him as a baseball player, and just loved the way he pitched, and he was a good hitter too. And I was I think I can become that at some point. And like always like on the back of the list, it was always like Yastrzemski Award was always like the too far goal. It seemed like, but.
Share. What is that award for? Just share with the listeners.
Yeah, that's like the MVP award for Suffolk County.
Yeah. That's pretty legit. I would say so. Now, getting drafted, obviously out of high school was unique, and I mean, not everybody can say that happened. Would you have changed anything? Like, would you have maybe potentially tried to go to college prior, or are you happy with your decision?
I'm happy with it, just based on the way my injuries played out. For one, and two, like by the time I was like 21, 22 years old, I was like a very well-traveled person, like, being in different countries and states and stuff. Like I think that was just like.
Well, you had success early on, you know, right? Like explain the levels that you went up.
Yeah. So when I was 18, I went to the GCL my first summer, and the first summer is always like kind of just getting you acclimated. Yeah. It's like. Basically just getting you like used to not being in your parents' house, like with them doing your laundry anymore. It's like, all right, like, this is how you function as a person and also play baseball. And I spent the first summer in GCL. The second summer, I was also in GCL, but they turned me into a starter. Okay. So I was a starter that year. I had a really good year. That team was like, we were like the winningest team in baseball, like as a GCL team. We lost like 10 games that year. Okay. And then the year after that was when I was with Team Italy. Okay. In 2017. And then I went to Low A which is the Blue Claws, but now that's High A, because at some point they flip-flopped Low A and High A. Got it. And then had a really good year there. I started the All-Star game there. And then in 2018, I went to High A, but I was hurt. So like I started off the year on the IL, and then I only pitched for like 6 weeks or something like that. Got it. And then went back on the IL. Okay. And then from there started like the whole injury journey. Yeah. We don't need to revisit that. Yeah. So I was like, that was all between 18, 21, or 22. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So I mean, like. And I had an Australia trip in there too. Okay. Like I pitched in Sydney for a little bit. Nice. And then went to Mexico for Team Italy as well. So like, nice. I don't know if I would have had that like type of travel in college. Like going back to the question, and also like I had immediate success. So like I think that kind of played into it. Yeah. Even like to my first outing. Like my first outing was against the Astros GCL team. And in my first inning, I struck out Kyle Tucker, like who was like the 3rd overall pick that year. Okay. And like, that just immediately kind of made it worth it to me at the time. Because that was a big thing I struggled with was like, do I go to college? Do I go play pro ball? Because you were committed to Marist, right? Yep. Yeah. And I was like, I was unsure, like, also, like, when my injury started, I was, like, 21 years old, too. So, like, if that happened in college, I might not have ever had a pro career period. And, like, pretty close to a degree, I probably would have said, whatever. Like, your life would have been very different. Yeah. So, like, I might be in a different spot right now. But I don't regret it. I've never even, like, really gone back on that and thought about it. Yeah. Like, there's been, like, times where I was like, I wonder what Marist would have been like, just out of curiosity. But, it was never like something that I wish I did, which I'm glad. All right, cool, man. I appreciate you coming on. So Saturday, November 22nd, 9 a.m. we'll be here at Victory Sports Performance. We're gonna have a whole panel of speakers, including Nick, people from MLB organizations, a surgeon, instructors, people from all around, baseball, to give you different perspectives, on how to get better, how to stay healthy, and enjoy the sport of baseball. But that's it. I thank you, Nick, and I look forward to seeing you guys all Saturday, November 22nd. See you then.